So this is a SnowDogg EX90 plow that lost its lift function. So I'll show you how I diagnosed it here real quick and what I did to get by temporarily, but I also got the fix for it. When you power it on, the green light was not on, it was red. It was flashing twice, then it would stop. So if you look at this code, or this cheat sheet, that means it was a lift fault. I could hear it clicking at the solenoid, but that was not the issue. That's usually sometimes the case, but not always. The solenoid is behind the tail light down in here, this hole. To get to it, you have to pull off the headlight assembly and pull the grill back. So after determining that was not the case, there's a cover up here on the front. It snaps off. And after some testing, the solenoid was getting power, but it was not coming down here to the actual plow motor. So that told us it was in the wiring harness. We checked all the connections, and after wiggling it, got it to work, but later determined it was the ground. So I just took jumper cables and grounded it there up to the battery. So I'm going to take it off now, switch it out, and hopefully that is the fix. Always take a note of where the wires are. And this is the part number for the harness, if you can see that. It's just a 1/2-inch drive wrench to loosen these terminals here. So take the negative and the positive off, 1/2-inch size wrench. Then these just all pull off, but like I said, take a note of the pattern. There's a jumper for the grounds. It's on the left side, but then it goes red, green, blue, all hooked up to the right. So then you just got to fish this down. There's a little hole in the bottom. And it'll pull out. But the other day I realized, my first thought was the issue was here because it's just a little bit black, and actually the rubber grommet in here had come off. As wore off, is deteriorated. It's right here laying. It just kind of fell apart. So before I put this new one in, I'm going to wrap it up with tape real good right up there at the end, just to keep it from rubbing. Got my tape, I'll wrap it up here. So got the new one on, all snugged up, everything's tight. Got it plugged in. Moment of truth. Locks on. Green light. It is working. So to recap, this end here was where the problem was, and I kind of had it figured, but I had to cut it apart to really tell what was going on. And this ground here was just loose in there, like it had just come on here just enough to throw everything out of whack and not give a lift or a turn or a tilt or any function to the plow. So like I said, after cutting it apart and realizing I couldn't stick it back in there, I just stripped it back a little bit more, ran a jumper cable. I could have just grounded it to the plow itself, but for a quick fix I just did a jumper cable. But that's what it was. This wiring harness was just under $100 online. I'll share the link here. And maybe that'll help you out in the future. I hope so.